How to batch 1 week of content in 30 minutes. Sounds like quite a lot of work we have to do, but I'm excited to actually show you how easy this is. If you don't know about me, you may have seen me in past webinars, but if not, my name is Greta Rose. So I head up user education and marketing here at Plann. I actually started my career as an influencer. So when I was around 15, I started gaining a following on Instagram, and it gave me the opportunity to work with a bunch of different brands around the world. Some of those include like Billabong, Shangri-La Resorts, Focus Feature Films. Those are a few of my favorites that I've worked with. But I've also worked in tech. So in Silicon Valley, I started working with Plann a couple years ago, and I just love Plann. I actually started using Plann even before I was working here. So webinars like this are always so fun for me because it's really authentic for me to just talk about how I use Plann and also to educate everyone on social media. Because I know social media can feel a little bit daunting and intimidating, but I promise you it's not that scary. And so that's really where my passion is just educating you all and answering any questions. And today we have quite a lot to get into. So we are learning about what is content batching, what are the benefits of it, how to create a strategy prior to batching, how to batch create content within Canva and Plann, and then quickly scheduling and automating that content. Because if we're not posting it and if it's not going out into the world, then what's the point? So we want to make sure we really focus on that piece as well. Now you can follow along with me just by having Plann's desktop version. You can create a free account. You can go ahead, the team's in the chat, so if you need the link, go ahead and ask for it and they'll get you set up with an account and show you how to do it. But it's super easy, and you'll also want to register for a Canva account. This is also free. This will just help you create alongside with me. So, all about content batching. What exactly is content batching? So content batching it's basically coming up with all your graphics, captions, all your ideas at once. And instead of spending an hour planning, developing, and posting a single post, you're going to spend one batch of time composing a whole week's worth of content. Some people do it like 1 week's worth of content. Some people will dedicate 2 days and do 2 weeks worth of content. It really depends on your schedule and what works for you. Personally, as a social media manager for Plann, it's one of my tasks here. I like to dedicate 1 day to batching for the week ahead. And it's really great because it can seem very overwhelming when you speak about it, but actually when you get into that wave of inspiration and creating content, you'll find it's actually becomes really easy because you're in that mode of creativity. If you're filming reels, for example, you're already dressed up and ready to go. I batch all my YouTube videos at once because I know that I have my lighting set up and my equipment. And it's so much easier filming, 5 videos back to back versus, filming a video a day and constantly having to get my equipment ready and myself ready. And it's kind of a joke within the social media industry. Like when someone's all kind of dressed up and ready to go on their stories, you kind of know it's like that person's batching content day. And so it saves you time. It helps you maintain an aesthetic feed. So again, when you're in that mode of creativity, you know exactly, how you want things to look, and it's different than coming in another day and maybe messing with kind of the theme of things. And then it also helps you post consistently, which is super important because this is what the algorithm rewards on every single platform. They want users to post a lot, high quality content, but they want you to post consistently. And so you'll see for those accounts that do post, anywhere from 3 to 5 days a week, the algorithm is going to reward those users because that's ultimately what they want. They want you to spend time on the platform and be putting good quality content out there for viewers. There's a couple of batching tips. We have some videos on the side of a planner, and he shows you in these videos, like it's super easy to batch create and still have the content look different. So as you can see, these 3 videos look different. He's wearing, some different clothes. He's changed kind of the background, but they were all recorded within 20 minutes of each other. And so one common concern I hear when it comes to batching content is, will it look way too similar? How, especially if it's video, how will a viewer be able to tell them apart? And there's really easy hacks here, like, changing up your clothes. So this is very common in the filming world for like YouTube, is that you do these kind of outfit changes. And so it does look like you're filming on a different day, but you're totally not. You can also cut and edit your videos and load them into your calendar. This is a really good hack to get them ready to go. And then once you've filmed kind of all these videos and all this content, it's so easy to quickly grab them and go ahead and schedule them for the week ahead. So I think that can be a concern too, is having that many pieces of content can feel overwhelming. And how will I know what day they'll go out or what video will go where? And you're dealing with so many different types of pieces of content. But within Plann, it's really easy to schedule them for each day and see how they fall into your broader strategy. You can also do things like leveraging user-generated content. If you don't know what this is, it's basically content that users have helped you create. So things like mentions or comments, reviews, all of these things. We love this at Plann. We always get tagged in these amazing stories of users showing themselves planning their content for the week. We love reposting this content. Not only do we want to highlight all of our planners because we just love you guys, it also helps us because we get to constantly keep posting on our social media and getting the word out about Plann, and you guys are such a huge part of that. And so make sure you're not just looking at the content you need to create, but what are other areas where there's already content being created that you can then bring in. And this is a great thing to do. So especially, I noticed some of you said you were in like skincare. Some of you said you were in real estate. For example, if you have a client who just posted about, their new house they just purchased and they've tagged you in it, go ahead and ask that, client if you could repost it and use it on your own socials. And you can then weave this into your overall batching strategy. It's just about having that forethought of all the content that's going to go up and gathering everything. Next, make your content go the extra mile. So again, when we think of batching content, it's easy just to think about new content. That's not always the case. A lot of times we have really great older content that performed well, or maybe it didn't perform as well as we thought, and we want to give it that kind of second life. There's so many ways to do this. So let's say, last year you posted a video that you still think is relevant to your audience, and you want to bring it into, new content that you're posting. You could easily make that into like a podcast, or you could make it into a different style of content and then go ahead and add that into your batched content. And I love this because obviously it can be, like I said, overwhelming when you think of creating all new content. And what's exciting is you don't actually have to create all new content. A lot of times there's a lot of beautiful content we've already created that we just need to look at with fresh eyes and re-push out to our audience. And so making your content, your old content, work harder is something we really advise. And you can also do this easily within Plann. So we have it set up to where you can easily repurpose content, share it on other platforms. And yeah, I find this really helpful because there are also those days where you might create like 5 amazing posts, but that 6th post, you're like, I cannot bring myself to create one more piece of content. It's okay. Go back and see what you did before. Get inspired. We do this a lot at Plann. We see other pieces of content that we've put a lot of time and energy into, and how can we bring that forth and reshare. And so this always makes me feel better as I'm batching, knowing that I can always go back to that content that performed really well or that I put a lot of effort into and give it a second life. Next is creating a strategy prior to batching content. So firstly, I'll say, why is it important to create a strategy? Because you don't want to be creating aimlessly. I find myself getting really inspired to create content when I can look at my social strategy and see exactly the type of content that I need. I love having that guideline of, on a Friday morning when I'm getting ready to batch, looking at my strategy and knowing, okay, I need to create 3 reels based on this topic. And I need to create a static post based on this topic. And it's really going to kick off your creativity so you're not just creating from scratch. Now, you can actually do this within Plann. We have something called content pillars. Content pillars are themes or key topics for you to focus on when building your content. Establishing content pillars is super easy, and it helps you really like create trust and authority with your audience. So it does this by letting your audience know kind of your strategy and common things that you post, showcasing your products and building anticipation. Again, if you have a product launch coming up at the end of next week, you want to make sure you have your strategy built out to where you're getting people excited for that launch. So like, is it Jen, I think, is in skincare. So like for you, you could say, like, say you're launching a new skincare product, you could use these pillars to kind of plan out, okay, Monday, I'm going to tease the product, maybe just the name of the product. And then Tuesday, I'm going to do this, and Friday we'll launch. Basically, it's just a way for you to get that overall strategy. Again, establishing a flow for promoting your offerings, building a loyal digital community around your brand, and keeping track of what to post next. And honestly, we use this at Plann. I use this as I plan socials. Wow, that's a tongue twister. These save me. I thank the product team a million times over for adding these, because just as a social media manager, I couldn't plan our strategy without them. And we also have a complete strategy guide we've put together for you. I love to add these little Easter eggs within the webinars. So if you comment strategy in the chat, we have some of our team members, they're going to send you the link to this strategy guide that you can download. It's going to completely help you revamp your strategy and take you through each of the steps. It's awesome. So go ahead and comment strategy, and then either Renata or Tony or Christy, some of our team members will go ahead and send that your way. So when it comes to content pillars, you might be wondering, how do I identify the different ones that I want to use and topics that I want to create content on? And so first, ask yourself, like, what are you an expert on in your industry? You know, what do you feel really confident posting about? It's easy to kind of create content around that and build out a theme that way. You also want to be authentic. So with a beautifully planned grid, it's really important to still showcase some like behind the scenes and real life content. And so making sure you bring that into your strategy as well. We actually have some content pillars already labeled behind the scenes that you can quickly drag and drop into your grid. Study what's working for your brand. So again, you can go back through your social media and give it an audit and see what type of content performed well for you. And then you can then create these kind of content pillar themes around that. Obviously, you want to be responsive to conversations in your inbox. So like, see what people are saying. Like, is there certain content that they're really wanting to see from you? Are they asking you certain questions about your industry? And that's really great to bring in as well. And then, of course, evolve as necessary. So make sure that you are looking over these pillars and seeing, what's working, what's not. I really love this about social media. You have the data, so you don't have to guess about things like this. You can see your engagement rate. You can see if your followers are increasing or declining, and you can overall get a view of what's working for you. And so you're not just creating blindly. But content pillars, I can't say enough about them. I'll show you within the product kind of more how they work, but that's just a little overview. And I'm really excited for this part. So using Plann's content calendars. If you're new to content calendars, this is something that Plann does each month. We have an amazing designer who works very hard on creating different templates for you that you can use in Canva. We have an amazing team that helps you get an idea of what you can post each day of the month. And this is just to help you really kick off each month feeling confident. If you're someone who just doesn't have time to develop your own strategy at this point or doesn't know where to start, this is going to be a lifesaver for you. Or you can pick and choose as you want. So like you can develop your strategy and customize it maybe 70%. And then the rest you can drag in some of these templates and ideas we have for you. So it's a really great resource. And our team was very generous. They gave this one to us early. Usually this would come out the first week of April, but they've given it to us early so that you guys can get started. And you're going to get the full content calendar in the follow-up email to this webinar. So make sure you check your email because you'll have this content calendar that you can work with. And you're going to love it. It's amazing. So we'll come back to this, but basically just to give you some info, we're going to jump into the product. I'm going to show you how to batch with Canva and Plann and also how to automate your content. I'm also going to show you how to use the April content calendar. So let's go ahead and get started. Let me just change my screen for you. One day I'll find a more graceful way to do this, but it's not today. Okay, here we go. Can't wait to show you guys this. Okay, so April's content calendar. I love the colors used in this. To give you an overview of the calendar, what it looks like. So you have each of the days, and you have different holidays that are coming up, so for you to keep track of. And then for each day, you have an idea of what you can post. Now, we don't just give you the idea, we actually give you the template to then create the content. Again, our designer puts so much work into this. It is a very intense process to create each individual template for each day. But we're all really passionate about helping you as best we can. So as you can see on the calendar, I clicked the March 1st post, April 1st. Oh my gosh, guys, it's been a month. April 1st post, and that post is March reflections. So basically what we're telling you is on April 1st, post something where you're reflecting on March. So again, maybe if you're in real estate, you're reflecting on the houses you sold and the families that you got to connect with. Maybe if you're in skincare, you're reflecting on, your best-selling product, so on and so forth. You guys are my superstars this webinar, skincare and real estate, but I'll try and work in a few others. So basically, we're just telling you, reflect on that month. And obviously, as you can see with the template, we've kept the template really simple so you can make it your own. So something like this, you would probably put all your reflections within the caption. But we want to make this our own. So I will show you guys Plann in a second, but within Plann, I've created kind of like a skincare grid. And so I have very particular colors that I'm using. I have a very, very specific aesthetic that I'm going for. And so while this is a great template to start with, it's not where we're going to end up. A little trick, I love adding in my branding colors. You can obviously do that within Canva, where you can list all your brand colors. If I show you that, it's all of Plann's brand colors. So what I've done is just screenshotted actually my content pillars within Plann. So I have all the colors that I commonly use with this brand here. And then as you can see, I can go ahead and just kind of go in and change some of these colors. So it's going to pull from photo colors. Here, I'm going to change this to a common color that I use. And we'll do the same with the text. Let's do gray here. And then let's say this isn't the common font that I use for my brand, so I want to make it more like my brand. I'm going to go in with Proxima. Then we can go ahead and delete this because now we have the colors for reference. And then let's say I want to add a photo of myself. Let's just say this is me. So I'll delete this one here. And then I'll go in. This tool on Canva has changed my entire life. Background remover. It is so simple. It is the best tool. If you don't know about it, now you know. It's super easy to get there. Just edit photo effects, background remover. It's usually very spot on how it removes the background, but if it doesn't do a good job, it has like an erase tool. But I find this like the best tool ever. You'll see that we do a lot of this at Plann. So like even on the webinar kind of promo, you'll see that there is like a cutout of me and it's done with background remover. It's super easy. So now we have something that looks a lot more like our brand. And I created that in what? It was just like a couple minutes. And obviously we use the template from Plann, but that's kind of the point of us giving you these templates, is it's just something really quick that you can then make it your own and quickly have it look on brand, and you can import and you're ready to go. We can do the same here. We can do the same on every single one of these templates and just quickly make them what we want them to be, make them look more on brand. It's super, super easy. Now, if you are starting from scratch, and let's say you don't want to go with a template, there's different things that you can do to quickly batch create content. I like to have all my content in just one like fluid kind of line, so I can jump back and forth. I can copy and paste different styles, whether that's text or colors. I also, if you want to create more like customized branding, you can then go in and create your own templates within Canva and have like 3 to 4 templates that you always go between. Again, you'll see this on Plann. This is something we do where if we post like social news, we have one template that we use. If we post a meme, we have one template that we use. That way, it's just super easy to quickly switch out the content and then go ahead and post it. But we have this here. And again, you can do this for anything. And like, I really love this little hack of just dragging in the colors. This is just a screenshot, going in, changing up the way it looks so it really fits our brand. We have some like gradient here. I could spend like all day in Canva because I just love creating. But I think when it comes to batching, one thing that really helps the most is just knowing exactly what your branding is and what your go-to fonts and styles and colors are. And that's going to really make a difference as well. And in here is just super easy to change up like anything we need to fit our brand. Anyways, this is something you can explore on your own, just to go into our April content calendar. And I hope you all are giving it a whirl right now, because as you can see, it's super easy. And if you're completely new to batching content and creating a strategy, this would be a really good place to start. Don't forget too that you can always resize anything within Canva. So if you see some of these different templates, but let's say you want to post a reflections, but a reel of you talking about your March reflections, it's super easy to just go to resize, go down, find reel covers, select it, and then it's going to turn this into a reel cover. So it's the exact proportions you need. And then you can use it as you want it. So that's another little trick. And as some of you may or may not know, we do have an integration with Canva. And so let me just show you kind of what that is like. Let's see if I can bring you over into Plann. I'm so sorry, guys. I wish there was like a more graceful way to bring you into each of my screens, but for now, this is what we're working with. Okay, so as you can see, I have a very cohesive feed. I've built out the skincare line. I have very particular colors I want to use, different imagery I'm using. And so let's say I want to bring in what I just created on Canva. I'll hit this button here, and then you'll see I can go over to Canva. From here, it will need to like reset to save. So sorry, I missed one step. So when you're done creating your content within Canva, you're then just going to save it to a folder. If you don't know how to do that, go to File on the left-hand side, go down and select Save to Folder. You can create a new folder or save it to an existing one. Once you're in there, if you scroll down, you're going to see your folder here. But I've created one earlier. I will have needed to restart Canva to see it. And so I'll just go to uploads and pull this image here. But usually what you would do if you're importing content from Canva into Plann is you just scroll down, go to your folder. You'll see your content there and import it. It's a little bit different because, as I said, I'd have to close it out and restart it. So as you can see, I have this here. And then I'm going to hit publish. Save as draft. And here we go. So now I have something that it took me a couple minutes to create. I just used a template from Plann. It still looks very on brand. It matches the other things that I'm posting, and I'm ready to go. Now, I really want to take you guys through strategy. I did explain it in the slides, but I think it's something you kind of have to see for yourselves. So let's go over to strategy. It's this little rocket ship at the top. So as we discussed, you have content pillars. So you have your strategy here with each of your content pillars. I have my strategy laid out, but I could clear it if I wanted to start over. I could add all of them to the grid to say I want to take each of these and pull them over. I could do that. Or I could individually bring them over like this. That's Pedro, our mascot. You'll see him oftentimes with like different hats on and things. So I can drag it over here. And then as you can see, now I know on that day, I'm going to post something about frequently asked questions. Let's wait for it to load. Okay, and so from here, I can do the same. I can go straight into Canva. And let's say I don't want to go into Canva. Let's say I just need something quick to post, like I need a lifestyle photo, which again can really be brought into your batching content. We have a bunch of different options. So for free content, you can click here. And let's say I need something like relevant to skincare. I can quickly search it and I can find something here. And again, I can just find something that feels very on brand. Pexels is amazing. It's all like real photographers that supply these images. And so it's very, it's really great. It's very high quality and it doesn't look too stock imagey. So like if I quickly wanted to just do like a self-care post, I could bring it in. Obviously it's not relevant to frequently asked questions, this image, but I could make it. So let's say the strategy is frequently asked questions. I don't have any content. I quickly need to pull something in. I can easily create a post like this and then make the caption about frequently asked questions about our best-selling bubble bath or something. I can then tie it back, and that's how captions should be looked at, is it's a way to tie the information back to the image. And so it's really easy to work it into the strategy that way. We can save that as a draft, and then you're going to see if I am looking at the post just like this and I want to know what strategy they're under, I can quickly select it. In the right-hand corner, I'll see what content pillar it's under. But let's go back to strategy. So I wanted to quickly show you how to create your own content pillar. From here, you can go to Add Custom on the left-hand side. And then you can go ahead and type in the name of the content pillar. So let's make this one like a behind the scenes one. I have this one, but we'll do a second one. And then if I want to change the color to match my branding, I can do that. Let's do something. Let's see. We need it a little more pinky. If you have your hex code, you can just copy and paste it here. That's the easiest thing. But let's just add something like that. And then we'll create it, and then you'll see it here. Then we can add it to our strategy. We can drag and drop it. And we can do that with the others as well. And so we're going a little bit reverse here, but if I'm batching content for the week and it's a Friday, the first thing I'm going to do is come into Plan, and I'm going to get this figured out. So I'm going to decide what are the things I need to post that week. Is there a product launch coming up? Is there social media news we want to talk about? Is there a planner that we want to highlight? I think about those things and then I bring them into my strategy. I sometimes get very specific with each of these content pillars, and I will literally name them Reel for this launch. You know, I'll get super specific. Whatever you have to do to make it easier for you to create that content, that's what you want to do. But if having a more broad strategy like this is helpful for you, like doing one post a week on education, on brand story, on a new scent, whatever that looks like, you just want this to be a place of inspiration for you where you can then lay it out on the grid and know for the week ahead what you're going to create. And this is really going to kick off the inspiration and help you know exactly what you're jumping into. Now, let's talk a little bit more about automating the content that you create. So obviously, we want to batch create our content. We want to bring it into Plan, but we also want to make sure that we are automating it and posting it and making sure that that content isn't just sitting there and not getting posted. So for those of you who are new to auto posting, basically you just want to make sure that you plan out your caption. So let's say like, let's just say 1, 2, 3. Let's pretend these are questions. Don't forget that we have emojis. This is something that when we added it, we're actually all really excited about because it really adds to your caption. And being able to pre-plan your caption with emojis and everything is super helpful. So let's just put this one. I love this one. You can also add the first comment. This is really cool because if you want to utilize hashtags but you don't know where to get started, this is a really great place to experiment with hashtags because they won't be featured in your caption. They'll be posted in a comment after your post. And so they're a little bit more like undercover and subtle. We have like a bunch of different sets of hashtags depending on your industry. There is also like suggested hashtags here. Like I think we have one for skincare. Let's see. Yeah, we do. So for example, this is a skincare post. So I'm going to go in and add all these skincare hashtags and you'll see it's like natural skincare products, skincare specialist, all these different hashtags that are relevant to that industry. And then we'll go ahead and hit save. And then we can do like a custom time, turn on auto post. We can also do it to Facebook as well if we want. Let's just plan this for tomorrow. You can do, let's just do 5:30 and then save. Then we'll go ahead and schedule the post. And so now that's ready to go. So we have auto posting there. And another tip I have is when it comes to content batching, making sure that your content is performing well. When you batch content ahead of time, it can be, the tricky part is that let's say you post something and it doesn't perform very well or it performs really well. And sometimes that can then change what you're going to post the next day or the following day. You can make those little tweaks to your content. When you're batching content ahead of time, you don't have as much of that time to then jump in, really change up the content. And so it's really important that you're keeping track of all the results of that content. So seeing how it's performing. We have a results tab here where you can go in and see what's going on with your content. You won't see a lot on this account because it's a mock-up account, but you'll be able to see things like impressions, reach, engagement, best performing palette, even things like stories. And then from there, you can decide for the next batch you do, how does that inform the content that you batch? If reels are performing really well in your batch strategy, then moving forward, you're going to add in more. And it's just looking at those results. And it's something that I really love about social media is that you don't have a lot of guesswork. So you really get to see what's working and what's not working. And it can just be a really great thing to inform the type of content you're going to batch. And I'll take you through one more thing, which is just the calendar. So here, you'll see different ideas on the calendar. So like share a tip, do a small biz shout out. You can then plan your content in so you can see exactly what day it falls on. Our calendar can get kind of lost. I find a lot of people kind of miss out on the calendar, but it's really great because you have all these content ideas here. You can also just see for the week what's coming up and the different times of day, especially if you post like twice a day. This is really helpful. And Yeah, I will say one more thing, I always have one more tip, but another place to find inspiration to batch content is this section of Plan, so it's our home version of Plan, and basically you have different things like find content, search for captions, audio trends. I love audio trends because it can be super hard to keep up to date with all the new songs coming out and the sounds and what to use in different reels. So this is also another good place to get inspired. You can click on Instagram or TikTok and it will take you to a video to show you an example of how that sound is being used. Um, and it's just a great place, again, to come and get inspired because the biggest thing before doing like a batch content day is just finding that inspiration. And once you have that inspiration, once you have that strategy in place, creating the content is fast. And you have things, resources like the content calendar that will really help you um, if you're still feeling pretty lost. But I do want to jump in and answer some questions. I would love to do more of an interactive webinar at some point where I really take you through how I batch content, how I film videos, how I really the creative process, and maybe that's something I could do in a video and we could put it on our YouTube channel. I don't think it's very good for like a webinar format, but I would love to take you guys through like a day of batching content and kind of what that looks like. But I hope this at least gives you an overview. And I'm going to answer some questions. Let me just scroll through. Elizabeth asked if she could get a recording. Yes, don't worry for all of you. You will get the recording, so don't stress. It will be in a follow-up email around 24 to 48 hours after. I saw a bunch of you asked for a strategy guide. That's great. I really love this guide. Jill said a batching video would be awesome. Would you email us when you do it? Yeah, definitely. We'll send out an email or something because I would really love that. I used to do these kind of vlog style videos over on Plan's YouTube channel, so go check it out. Maybe the team can pop the link in the chat, but I would kind of do these kind of like day in the lives of a social media manager. And I'm sure you can like find some little hacks in that I've posted, but I would love to do like a full content creation video. I think that would be really cool. Sorry, the chat's moving very fast, so I'm just trying to pick out some questions. Rachel asked, can Reels be auto-scheduled? Yes, they can, and we've just added where you can also auto-post the cover as well, which is like a huge game changer. And Tony has gone ahead and popped that YouTube channel link in, so make sure to go check it out. Christy said, more hashtags for jewelry and gemstones, please. Ooh, thank you for letting us know. Yeah, we'll definitely send that over to the team. We're always looking for different industries that we're maybe missing. So for anyone who has a suggestion there, please go ahead and either pop it below because we do go through the chat after the webinar, or you can reach out to support at Plan That and let us know. Cora asked, do you think pictures aren't important anymore as Reels get more attention? It's a really interesting comment, Cora. We've seen it's been strange because we have some news from Instagram that they're going to move more towards a static post type of grid and encourage more photos and static posts, and that the algorithm will again kind of lean back that way. Will it actually happen? We don't know. Social media is just always changing. Again, I would say it's always good to just do like a mix. But there are some kind of things happening right now that would prove that video won't be as important. I mean, we know it's a preferred style of content. Even for me, I love watching video content, but I do think that some of the platforms will move more towards photos again and static post. So I think it's really interesting. We're definitely always keeping up with kind of where the platforms are going and what they're pushing, and so we'll let you know. Follow our Instagram. That's where we post and talk about a lot of kind of the recent news that's coming out. And I don't know if you all saw, but they are putting an end to the reel bonus, which is another kind of, for me, more of a confirmation that reels won't be as important. More hashtags for professional organizers. I would love that job. I love organizing. Niora, I hope I'm saying your name right. You said a strategy for yoga teachers. Thank you all for all the great ideas. We love, adding more and more industries into Plann. Lash artists, that's a great one. LinkedIn strategy, Karen asked, yes. So what I showed you for Instagram, it's the same for all the platforms. So if you go over to LinkedIn on Plann, you'll be able to see content pillars that you can create for LinkedIn as well. And you can drag it into your LinkedIn grid the same way. So it works for each of those platforms. It obviously looks a little bit different to kind of mimic the grid on LinkedIn, but you can use it for each of the platforms. Our Instagram account is Plann That. Michael asked, can you schedule stories and reels to Instagram from within Plann? You can. You can schedule that and you can auto post them, which is a game changer. Amanda asked, the 9 colors that you use for your strategy squares, are those posts aligning with those category colors? So yes, basically it really helps me because, for example, with Plann, we use different colors, and those strategy squares, I like to make them certain colors so I know what post will be what color. And then I can easily see when I'm creating, when I'm going into Canva and like changing up the colors, what color needs to go where on the strategy. Because I don't want like 2 of the same blues back to back when you're trying to create an aesthetic feed. You have to be a little bit more aware of things like that. And so that's how I use it, but you can really use it as you want. You don't have to make the colors of the content correlate. But I find it super helpful, especially for like cover images, static posts, things like that. Annette asked, sorry guys. Annette asked, will there be a replay or a rewind? Your question just disappeared. Yes, there will be a replay. Don't worry, it's going to be in your inbox in the next like 24 to 48 hours, so don't stress. Dave asks, should we assume viewers are looking at a vertical phone screen rather than a horizontal computer screen? Absolutely. Absolutely. Especially if we're talking about like Instagram, Facebook, even LinkedIn, a lot of people use on their phones now. But yeah, it's really dependent on the platform. Obviously, if we're talking about like YouTube, for example, that's a very particular style and it's horizontal, but most videos should be vertical. And you'll see even with like YouTube Shorts, they've put their videos vertical, probably because they want to increase, people using YouTube on their phone and viewing shorts like they view Reels and TikTok videos. So yeah, definitely assume that people are looking at it from a vertical angle. We have a couple more minutes left. Let me just scroll through. Darcy said, oh yes, I need to know what's performing and analytics for my content. Yeah, definitely. Analytics, it's so nice to be able to get that overall view of what's working and what's not. And you can do that individually on each platform, but you can also go to Plan and see like an overview there of multiple platforms. Maggie said, thank you, gotta go. Can't wait to upgrade my plan. Thank you, Maggie. Super excited for you. Let's see. Any final questions? Let me know. Tara said, how about hashtags for retreat venues? Retreats are a huge trend for 2023. That is a great suggestion. Thank you very much. Definitely. We'll have to add in like some strategy there too. Alicia said, what plan do I need to be on the monthly report email? I have a client that gets one, but I don't. Definitely reach out to support@planthat.com. That's our CS team. They're awesome. They can help you there. Hasina, I hope I'm saying your name right. Is there any guide on how to optimize the use of Pinterest? It's a very unexplored platform for me. Yes, definitely. We have spoken about Pinterest on a few of our blogs. I'm also really interested in putting together a webinar for Pinterest. Now they've added video up to 5 minutes, so I think it could be really interesting to add that into your strategy. But thank you all so much for coming. I really appreciate it. I just love spending this time with you, teaching you about Plan, and I'm so happy that we could talk about content batching and strategy. This is something that I do every week. But as I said, it would be super cool to add more of a personal touch, take you through a day of what creating content is like. So have a great day, everyone. Make sure to stick around, or not stick around, but you'll be getting an email within like 24 to 48 hours with the replay. So make sure to check it out, as well as you'll get the April content calendar early for everyone else. So go ahead and start creating, and I can't wait to see what you guys post. Tag us. I'm on Plann socials, so I'll definitely see your posts if you tag us. Anyways, thank you all, guys. Have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you next time.